Yeah, I was definitely one of those kids who had import model magazine covers on his school binder. And I drove a Honda Prelude. So
oh my God, you are like the quintessential.
Yeah. Being black and Japanese, I'm like, what am I
Inside
doing?
you, there are two dogs.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, do I slam my Prelude and put it on rims? Or do I, you know what I mean? I'm like, do I just keep this Prelude fucking cherry?
What's the other option?
It's a Prelude.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I put a TV inside the Prelude. That was like my one flex inside my Honda Prelude. But it was,
but it was not connected to anything.
it was a cathode ray tube TV. I just like zip tied to the dashboard. But no, I had like, I remember having like $200 and going to this spot. They're like, can I get a screen? They're like, bruh, I mean, we could do something really cheap in here. I'm like, I just need to have a screen. I need to be able to get by on a technicality that I have a screen in my fucking... But this shit was wild too because it blocked all of my air conditioning levers. So the hot ass LA.
Where was it?
It was in the front? Yeah, it was on the front because they're like, dude, if you want us to integrate this in your dashboard, like that's so much more work. You'd have to take the dashboard out and like cut it so like fits. I'm like, well, how much just to secure it on there? He's like, we could drill it in. And I'm like, yeah, bro. Shit. I'm like 18. I have nothing. Just please do that. And so I would have to like reach my hand behind the screen to turn the fucking AC on and shit. And when I was on a date, that was not a flex.
No.
Yeah.
Especially the way you're curling up your hand.
Yeah, no, seriously. They're like, oh, you have a TV? I'm like, yeah, that's a TV right there.
Yeah, that's a TV.
They're like, I know.
Yeah, you guessed right.
Yeah.
Ever seen Pimp Your Ride?
Can you turn the AC on? I'm like, yeah, hold on 1 second. Ow, scratches the back of my hand because I think
it's so hot. Sometimes it does burst into flames.
Do you mind if I can't get the thing where it cycles the air to make it colder? Just because it's really, I'm going to scratch my finger. I don't like it.
This is an iHeart podcast.
I'm Jorge Ramos.
And I'm Paula Ramos.
Together we're launching The Moment, a new podcast about what it means to live through a time as uncertain as this one.
We sit down with politicians, artists, and activists to bring you depth and analysis from a unique Latino perspective.
The Moment is a space for the conversations we've been having as father and daughter for years.
Listen to The Moment with Jorge Ramos and Paula Ramos on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
In early 1988, federal agents raced to track down the gang they suspect of importing millions of dollars worth of heroin into New York from Asia.
Had 30 agents ready to go with shotguns and rifles and you name it.
5, 6 white people pushed me in the car. I'm going, what the hell?
Basically, your stay-at-home moms were picking up these large amounts of heroin.
All you gotta do is receive the package. Don't have to open it, just accept it.
She was very upset, crying.
Once I saw the gun, I tried to take his hand and I saw the flash of light.
Listen to the Chinatown Sting on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you get your podcasts.
What would you do if one bad decision forced you to choose between a maximum security prison or the most brutal boot camp designed to be hell on earth? Unfortunately for Mark Lombardo, this was the choice he faced.
He said, you are a number, a New York State number, and we own you.
Listen to Shock Incarceration on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's your favorite Jersey girl, Gia Giudice. Welcome to Casual Chaos, where I share my story. This week, I'm sitting down with Vanderpump Rules star Sheena Shea.
I don't really talk to either of them, if I'm being honest. There will be an occasional text, one way or the other, from me to Ariana, maybe a happy birthday from Ariana to me. I think the last time I talked to Tom, it was like, congrats on America's Got Talent.
This is a combo you don't want to miss. Listen to Casual Chaos on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, the internet, and welcome to season 405, episode 2 of Daily Zeitgeist. This is a production of iHeartRadio. It's a podcast where we take a deep dive into America's shared consciousness, and it is Tuesday, September 9th, 2025, 9925.
9925, that's National Wiener Schnitzel Day, but not Wiener Schnitzel. I believe. This is the actual dish from Austria that gave way to the terrible hamburger, chili dog, or hot dog chain that we have.
I love that chain. It's like fake.
Look, Kyla, I know. I love it too. Those chili dogs did a number on me. But every time I eat another hot dog, I'm like, wait, Wiener Schnitzel is bad, I think. But
no, it's like the Taco Bell of hot dogs. Like it's fake, but it's its own genre.
Wow, I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
That's actually a better way for me to process that. It's also Care Bears Share Your Care Day. Jack, I always think of you when I see this. National Ants on a Log Day, because I never... immigrant
the height
mom
of my
never
culinary ambitions.
never made ants on a log for me. But when I first heard of it, I'm like, what the hell is this? Okay. And
Is
National
that
Teddy Bear Day.
a white person thing? Exclusively, I wonder.
Yeah, celery with the peanut butter and then putting raisins on top to make
putting
it
raisins
look like
and
a
shit.
thing.
I feel like is a real white person thing.
White coated.
Yeah,
for sure.
What about? Have you tried putting some raisins in it?
No, on this sandwich?
No.
Roast beef and raisin on rye.
Anyways, I was just talking about the origin, whether the word wiener first applied to hot dogs or dogs this morning with my 7-year-old.
Wow, interesting.
So, yeah, and who knew?
Did you get to the bottom of it?
I didn't. That's one of those things.
Well, because isn't it like Wien is like the town that it's from?
So it is
in Austria, like Vienna, Wien, and then whatever.
That makes sense.
Don't make me get all
saw the dog and were like, that looks like the food, as opposed to them seeing the food and being like, that looks like a dog, and still choosing to eat it, which is would be kind of gross. But they really are adamant of comparing that specific food to dogs, one way or another, whether it be a wiener, calling it a hot dog. Anyways, my name's Jack O'Brien, aka My Kids Can't Stop Reading Wings of Fire. And they talk about their desire to watch Wings of Fire. Wings of Fire. That one courtesy of Snarfula on the Discord, who said my daughter's ages 9-11 are obsessed. This is a book series my kids are obsessed with called Wings of Fire, and they make me check every day to find out if there is a show coming. The book is basically, it answers the question, what if instead of like there being humans in Game of Thrones, it was just dragons having like political intrigue and like killing each other is my sense. I don't read it. This is not one that I read to them, but that's the sense I'm picking up. But I do have an update that after Netflix scrapped the development, Amazon Prime has stepped in and just named a showrunner.
Oh, wow.
Who I've never heard of. So
don't tell your kids that, though. They don't realize how slow what that means. They're like, so tomorrow?
Exactly.
You're like, no. Maybe 2 years.
Exactly. They're asking me how many days until Christmas, like on a daily basis.
Damn.
Like I have the count. Yeah.
Do you have a countdown calendar?
No, basically,
kids love a countdown timer. Yeah.
I'm thrilled to be joined, as always, by my co-host, Mr. Miles Gray.
Hey, it's Miles Gray, the Lord of Lancashire, the Shogun with no gun, here to just, talk about the news. Thanks for having me. I did not get a chance to really look through the AKAs, so I had to go with the classic. I'm here.
The classics, the Shogun with no gun. Hey, maybe they'll make a streaming series about you on Netflix.
They might. They might. Yeah.
Miles, we're thrilled to be joined in our third seat by a very talented writer who's written for the LA Times, Rolling Stone, the New York Times, small publications like that. Her new book is Fetishized, A Reckoning with Yellow Fever, Feminism and Beauty, out in the world now. Go buy it. It's a great read. Super fascinating. Please welcome Kyla Yu!
Oh, that's such an amazing opening. I was like, I need to think of a better opening introduction for myself, like a dramatic one you guys have.
You can bring me wherever you're going.
I know, just like be my hype man behind me.
Yeah, exactly. I do try and bring a boombox wherever.
Oh, that would be amazing, on your shoulder.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
the book is out now. Is that huge relief?
Yeah, I actually got really depressed the next day. So there's this thing called postpartum book publication because I went and looked online and there's a ton of articles about it.
a lot of build up, and then
you're
much like having a kid, you're just like, oh, this is it?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
My life hasn't changed overnight. That's pretty much the reaction.
I mean, it's like the same thing, I think, with like working on political campaigns too. That happens to people the day after election day, because everything is leading up to one day. And then you get on the other side of it and you're like, what?
Wait, but can you imagine you're on the losing side? Because if you're on the winning side, then you could be depressed, but at least we won.
Yeah, but even on the winning side, you're kind of like, oh man, I didn't talk to anyone the last 2 months to just get through this election or whatever. But yeah. The book is really amazing. Kyla, Jack and I are reading it over the weekend, and like I was telling you before.
In each other's lap,
taking turns. Because Jack doesn't know about the Inland Empire. He doesn't know about what's up in the San Gabriel Mountains.
Where are you from?
I'm from all over the East Coast and Midwest.
Nobody outside of people in California don't even know about the Inland Empire.
No,
it was a fascinating learning experience. If you want to learn about the Inland Empire,
I know. I had to explain to him what the watching gangsters were. You know what I mean? These are all very SoCal things.
Yeah, that's a SoCal Asian exclusively. I don't think anyone not Asian knows about that.
That's what I loved about the book. I mean, aside from like your very specific experiences, like, you know, just dealing with, you know, the sort of gender expectations and beauty standards that come along with being not white in America. But like the stuff about just growing up in Southern California and just the little details that you put in that were, I'm like, it might not be for everyone, but every single like high school's like Etiwanda, go on. Hacienda Heights, go on. It was like hitting my brain. I was like, watching, yes.
It was a special time, right? I feel like all the people from that era are very nostalgic about it.
Yeah.
That's why you can sell one of those Hondas for $100,000.
That made me wish and then like working as an import model, I mean, like you've had you've touched every experience. It's a really fascinating book, and I think people should definitely check it out, especially for the obscure, esoteric Asian gang references too.
Yes.
I was thinking,
if you want to know everything about the import scene, which no one's ever heard of either.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you learn a lot about parts of the world you might not be familiar with, and you also get incisive analysis of The Little Mermaid.
Oh,
so
deep dive,
which I always appreciate.
Yeah, I was just in Copenhagen looking at that statue. It's really underwhelming.
Yeah. Really? Yeah.
Well,
it's small.
So many people are like, "We're gonna go see it," and you're like, "It's tiny, y'all. It's not like some Disney
Is it like
park."
this big?
Yeah. No, it nearly is. It's
really?
super
I was
small.
joking.
Yeah.
It's not even like.
No, I think American people, they're like, Little Mermaid statue. And they go, and they're like,
dog.
What is this like art piece? You know what I mean? At the shore of the water. Yeah. The one thing that also really touched my brain was too, is like sort of, I think this happens especially with kids of color in America, especially in like the late 80s and 90s. Like, who do I model my life after on TV? Like, I don't have an example. And like, especially for me being Black and Japanese, like there was certainly no like Blackanese person for me to look up to. So I'd be like, so you can do Karate Man or you can do Basketball Gangster. And like trying to figure out, like sort of parsing through all those things and like trying to land on who you are and what, you know, like, it's like, am I who I am, or am I this version of like, who do I select from the available like characters on TV?
So who did you choose?
I was like a combination of like Will Smith. I was mostly like Will Smith. I think Will Smith was like, because I was like, I wasn't fooling myself. I wasn't a tough guy, so I was never like trying to put on some like tough kid persona. Although
you
like,
weren't trying to get into watching.
No, they wouldn't have me. You know, they should be like, you look like maybe you would be an STS, the Filipino gang. They were having me watching. But yeah, like I was just like, just all of these things. It's interesting just to see how, you know, universal that kind of experience is, especially for like kids of immigrants or just, you know, like non-white kids in the US. So yeah, just all over. Just really, really fun read. Aside from just like the very serious stuff too, which I thought was really poignant.
Yeah, just all the ways that, you know, the gap between your existence as a human being with an inner life and then the way often white men will talk to you And
have you heard of the Asian fetish being a white man?
yeah, I have heard that. My wife is Korean, actually.
Okay.
So I've been... yeah.
Huh.
Just kidding.
Kyla, talk to this
I've
man.
been there for many, where are you from questions.
Oh, wait, you've
directed at her.
witnessed it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
it's so
We've been
cringy.
married for
Okay,
17 years.
I have a friend who is married to a Korean woman also, and she's the first Asian he's ever dated. He definitely doesn't have an Asian fetish. And he's like, he gets like little remarks here and there, like questions like, oh, do you have an Asian? You know, like, and he's like, no. Yeah.
I'm sure you probably get nudged by other pervert dudes who are like, hey, man.
Hey, man.
And you're like,
I get
what?
it, right?
My fucking wife I'm in love with since I was like a young man? No.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. I think about too, like I have like, my friends who are Asian women, they talk about how like, how much you have to really kind of have your head on a swivel a lot of times because dudes are purely there to be like Asian, right? Okay.
Yeah. In that voice too.
Yeah, or she'll be like, I have one homegirl, she's like, this second, she's like, I'll go on a date. If the guy says Asian anything, I'm off this. Like, I'm not even trying to hear it.
My wife literally had a policy of like she didn't really date people who had dated Asian women before because she was just like, I don't want that to be your thing. I don't want to be like part of your thing for Asian women.
Yeah, it just feels like not special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she had heard, like, she was like, and then sometimes they'll be like, oh, it's just like being into blondes. And I'm like, not really. But it was funny because as I was like talking to her about the book, she like all these conversations that she had were coming up. So, yeah, super fascinating.
Yeah, some men are very weird. Like the things they feel very comfortable saying.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's like they live in a consequence-free world.
That's right. All right. Well, we're going to get to know you a little bit better in a moment. First, we're going to tell the listeners a couple of the stories we're talking about. We're going to talk about Mike Johnson walking back his claim that Trump is like an undercover agent for taking down Jeffrey Epstein. Like he was going undercover as a pedophile. And that's why he might be in those files so much. We'll talk about Eric Adams. We'll talk about women going to Turkey for limb shortening procedures. All of that, plenty more. But first, Kyla, we do like to ask our guest, what is something from your search history that's revealing about who you are?
Well, okay, my searches are pretty boring, but the most recent one, because I went scuba diving yesterday, is just Catalina boat dives versus shore dives. So, yeah.
I mean, that's super. Boat dives. So don't ask me that. I'm so boring. I just went scuba diving yesterday. It's like such an interesting hobby.
It's very obscure, I feel.
Well, it's cool though.
A lot of people like get claustrophobic, which is weird. It makes sense, but weird though, right? Because the ocean is vast.
Right,
but then they feel claustrophobic.
It's because you can't get out. I mean, when I did it took me a second. I went scuba diving for the first time a few years ago, and trusting to breathe at that pace, I think was like the biggest thing I had to really stay like mindful of because I wanted to kind of like naturally, you kind of want to start hyperventilating or something like this is how I breathe. Like how the fuck am I supposed to do this? You know what I mean?
Am I breathing? It's like me when I smoke pot. Am I breathing normal?
Am I dead?
Is this how it's supposed to happen?
Yeah, yeah. That was like super, super difficult for me. But yeah, do you scuba dive a lot?
I love it, but it sounds like you're. A lot of people just don't like it after they experience it.
I got into it. Like once I found my zone, then I'm like, this is dope because there is something really amazing about like being on the floor of the ocean.
It's magical. Yeah. And meditative, I would say.
Yeah. And like I saw a turtle and I'm like, yeah, man, if this shit wasn't so expensive to do, maybe I'd do it a lot more.
I love snorkeling, but yeah, that just feels because you're on the surface, like, or near the surface. So that just feels like you're flying. But yeah, that's interesting of like feeling claustrophobic, like further down, I guess, because
you can't go.
You have nowhere to go.
Yeah. Truly. I mean, if that's in your mind, you're like, I have nowhere to go, quote unquote. Yeah. It's like you got the whole ocean to go to.
I've got a bad mind, so I feel like it would be. I feel like that's exactly where my mind would go.
Yeah, there's a lot to get paranoid about down there. So you have to not be paranoid person.
Yeah.
Right.
And so shore dive or boat dive better?
Boat dive, because there's like a marine park in, you can see these giant black sea basses in California that are as big as you are.
Yeah, they're fucking huge.
Insane, and
sea
not
bass
everybody
are
knows
huge.
about it. So
They
you
just
can
look like normal fish, but they're the size of a human being.
Yeah.
They're fucking crazy. They have them at the California Science Center, too.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah.
So they're protected. So you can see them in this marine park. So shore dives, there's just like crowds of people. But if you go out on a boat, it's like just you and your group. Yeah. So better.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
I've caught them before. They're fucking massive.
A giant sea bass?
Not that size, but like a sea bass that
I caught a fish. It was a rainbow trout.
Fish I was used to like bass being a thing, like a freshwater thing, and then I went like deep sea fishing and caught sea bass, and they're like they weren't the size of me, but they're like massive fish that are fucking so heavy and hard to pull up.
They're protected though, right? Or did you take it? I'm pretty sure they're protected.
It was sea bass, and it was like late 90s.
Oh, okay.
So on the
pre-law.
You're breaking the law. Breaking the law.
We're doing a lot of things that we weren't supposed to do back then.
Yeah. Insider
Probably
trading,
much
insurance
worse
fraud.
than catching an illegal fish.
Yeah,
for sure. Right. Wow.
That's throwback. All right. Why am I on trial here?
I'm so bad at fishing. Like, even when I go on those things where they basically like do everything for you, bro, never catch anything.
You pick up the rod and it immediately goes off.
Yeah. It's like they're like, just no more fishing line. They're like, what happened? I'm like, where'd the fishing line go? He's like, what the fuck? There's 3,000.
I just let it go.
3,000 feet of that shit on there.
Oh, shit ran. What is something you think is underrated?
Well, I don't know if it has to be pop culture, but I'd say Taiwan because I'm from there. And like people are so obsessed with going to Japan, but like Taiwan's way cheaper, has like comparable food, and is like a Tokyo wannabe. So you get the vibes.
I want to go to Taiwan so bad.
Oh, really?
I love, because it's so, what, one of the things that did it for me was I saw a photo of the trains, and I was like, this is exactly like in Japan. And I was like, for a second, I was like, at least the train car looked the same. But yeah, the food, I think, because especially right now in like LA, I feel like there's a huge boom in like Taiwanese food being like the new kind of like Asian food that people are really into. So yeah,
it's funny, because Japan occupied Taiwan for a period of time, and the Taiwanese were kind of like, we like it, versus like South Koreans who are like, oh, we hate the Japanese. So I don't know why like the Taiwanese took to it semi-favorably.
Yeah, right. I'm like, usually colonialism, imperialism doesn't go down well with people, but yeah,
like,
I mean,
what's their fucking problem?
Yeah.
But we hate China. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And that's why America loves Taiwan, doesn't it? Don't they, folks? Don't they?
No, we have all the chips. We have all the chips. So
yeah,
you cannot lose Taiwan. You better protect Taiwan.
Well, and I read about how, like there are protocols in place to be like, if they pull up, the whole chip industry is gone. Yeah. Like no one's having it.
Like, do you want China to have a hold of all the chips? The micro whatever chips.
Yeah. Very, very, very rational way of geopolitics that we have in this world.
What is something you think's overrated?
Paris. I'm like tired of hearing everybody want to go to Paris. Like I thought it was okay.
Did you go recently?
I've been like a couple of times, but yeah, it's been a couple of years. I would never pay to go there. I feel like I'm going to get like doxxed for that.
To like, how dare you say?
The Emily in Paris fans, yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's not even a real depiction of Earth.
Yeah, I know.
On that show, let alone Paris.
The French are offended by that TV show.
Wait, what's your favorite place to go to?
Bora Bora.
Oh, shit.
But that's like the ultimate diving destination. That's why.
Oh, you are really out here diving, huh?
I really do like to dive, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I was like, yes, the beaches. And you're like, no, the marine life. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that too. That too.
You're like, the luxury. And
yeah.
like, no, the manta rays.
Yeah.
And the scuba diving in Paris, not quite as good, I've heard.
No, awful there, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of nasty.
Oh, God.
Notes for Paris. Just like, get one note. What does Paris need to work on?
One note.
Let's
give Paris one note to fix everything.
Pick it up.
I just think it's like a city. Like, why are people glamorizing the city? Okay, there's like some cool architecture. There's some cool architecture in London. And like, I'm super not impressed with London either. The French could be nicer to Americans, you know, because we're fake nice to them. We're fake nice to them when they come here.
Yeah, right.
I've always had the experience that I think I'm girding myself for like being just treated like absolute dog shit, and then everyone's like, yeah, okay, like they're not so mean. Maybe because I'm so obsequious, just like,
you're like a submissive.
They're just like, they're uncomfortable and want to get me out of there as soon as possible. So they're just like, I don't know, man, just do it. Be nice to this person. Yeah.
Really good croissants, though, yeah.
Yeah, great croissants.
The croissants are as advertised.
Great croissants. Be nicer to me when I try and talk my terrible version of French. Okay, I'm trying.
Thank you.
I think if you at least try to speak French, they like the effort. Because I think that a lot of Americans don't even bother. They're like speaking to them in English.
Well, I feel like most of my friends will go and they're like, I tried speaking, and they go, I speak English. And they're like, okay. They're like, they'll be like, and thank you for trying, but now we can do this transaction in English. Yeah.
This is for you more than it is for me. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk about the news. We'll be right back.
I'm Jorge Ramos.
And I'm Paola Ramos.
Together we're launching The Moment, a new podcast about what it means to live through a time as uncertain as this one.
We sit down with politicians.
I would be the first immigrant mayor in generations, but 40% of New Yorkers were born outside of this country.
Artists and activists. I mean, do you ever feel demoralized?
I might personally lose hope. This individual might lose the faith, but there's an institution that doesn't lose faith. And that's what I've believed in.
To bring you depth and analysis from a unique Latino perspective.
There's not a single day that Paola and I don't call or text each other, sharing news and thoughts about what's happening in the country. This new podcast will be a way to make that ongoing intergenerational conversation public.
Listen to The Moment with Jorge Ramos and Paola Ramos as part of the My Cultura podcast network on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
When news broke earlier this year that baby KJ, a newborn in Philadelphia, had successfully received the world's first personalized gene editing treatment, it represented a milestone for both researchers and patients. But there's a gripping tale of discovery behind this accomplishment and its creators. I'm Evan Ratliff, and together with biographer Walter Isaacson, we're delving into the story of Nobel Prize winner Jennifer Doudna, the woman who's helped change the trajectory of humanity. Listen to On CRISPR, the story of Jennifer Doudna with Walter Isaacson on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
My name is Ed. Everyone say hello, Ed. I'm from a very rural background myself. My dad is a farmer, and my mum is a cousin, so it's not like...
What do you get when a true crime producer walks into a comedy club? I know it sounds like the start of a bad joke, but that really was my reality 9 years ago.
I just normally do straight stand-up, but this is a bit different.
On stage stood a comedian with a story that no one expected to hear.
On the 22nd of July 2015, a 23-year-old man had killed his family. And then he came to my house.
So what do you get when a true crime producer walks into a comedy club? A new podcast called Wisecrack, where stand-up comedy and murder take center stage. Available now. Listen to Wisecrack on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is a tape-recorded statement. The person being interviewed is Krista Gale Pike. This is in regards to the death of Colleen Slimmer.
She just started going off on me, but I hit her. And I just hit her and hit her and hit her and hit her.
On a cold January day in 1995, 18-year-old Krista Pike killed 19-year-old Colleen Slimmer in the woods of Knoxville, Tennessee. Since her conviction, Krista has been sitting on death row.
The state has asked for an execution date for Krista.
We let people languish in prison for decades, raising questions about who we consider fundamentally unrestorable. How does someone prove that they deserve to live?
We are starting the recording now. Please state your first and last name.
Krista Pike.
Listen to Unrestorable Season 2, Proof of Life, on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And we're back.
We're back.
And big news at the end of last week that I don't know why we weren't treating with more reverence. I mean, this is huge. Obviously, Donald Trump has been wanting to get this Epstein story behind him. And then at the end of last week, Mike Johnson, was he Speaker of the dang House?
Yeah, he is Speaker of the dang
House. Come out, say, Trump, the only reason he's in all those pictures and constantly hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein was he was secretly undercover, dude.
Wait,
and I didn't want to say anything because it might blow up his spot. But yeah, man, he was secretly an FBI informant.
This quote
who helped take down Jeffrey Epstein.
I'll play this quote because it's first of all, the speed at which Mike Johnson is talking should already be concerning. Because he is, of course he thinks, because again, the reason he gets to it is because someone says Donald Trump keeps calling this whole thing a hoax. And Mike Johnson has been trying to walk the line. He's like, of course, the crimes are not a hoax. It's the attention that people are giving. It's it's really hard needle for him to thread. But this is him speaking on that. And yes, which he does basically let everyone know that Trump is a Fed informant?
But Trump called it a hoax yesterday.
What Trump is referring to is the hoax that the Democrats are using to try to attack him. He has never said or suggested or implied. I've talked to him about this many times. He is mortified. It's been misrepresented. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down.
What?
Oh. I'm sorry.
He kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He's the FBI informant. Trying to take the stuff down.
Just one more time.
Unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women.
I mean, what is he really said? He's an FBI informant who's trying to take this thing down, man. What a terrible, terrible bit of improv from Mike Johnson there that only, if he didn't even say that, there wouldn't be headlines. But the fact that he insisted that he's an FBI informant says a few things. I think I've seen enough TV shows to know that when you're an informant, it's usually because you're inside the criminal organization and then you get caught up in some shit. And then the feds go, all right, here's the deal. You're going to turn informant and we're going to give you more of a lenient.
You're going to turn on your boy.
Yeah. You're going to flip on them. Snitches don't get stitches because they're whistleblowers at a restaurant. They're talking about because you was down with the whole thing. How dare you? So a very, very odd defense because I think they're still trying. I think they have to figure out a way how they explain why Trump is in these documents, why he's named. So I guess they were
all the fuck over them.
Yeah.
Just all over the place. So obviously, I mean, he's the Speaker of the House. You have to assume this was cleared. This is a new strategy, right? Where the Trump administration is rolling it out.
Yeah.
Except not at all. That they immediately were like, whoa. No, actually, they tried to walk it back. They claimed that what he meant was that Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago. Right. That was the thing he said before. Right before he said he was an FBI informant.
He kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He's an FBI informant.
What he meant was not that part. You didn't. Let's just pretend you didn't hear the part where he said he's an FBI informant.
Again, I don't know why, where he thought this was good. I don't know if maybe they did. They're like, maybe try that. Just see if people laugh at you if you say that immediately. And the fact that everyone on the internet was like, what the fuck is that? That now it's like, no, that's not what I meant at all when I literally used the words, he was an FBI informant trying to take this whole thing down. Okay, well, I think back to the drawing board for them.
Yeah. they just have that difficulty of like he keeps doing things that would suggest that he's
terribly
heavily
guilty.
implicated in this.
Yeah. Oh man, that's like that would be so funny. It's like you get caught with like cigarettes or something in high school. Your mom's like, "What are these cigarettes?" You're like, "Mom, I'm on informant."
Fuck. You look around you to make
the
sure.
principal was like, "Go hang out with these kids and figure out who's smoking the cigarettes, and then take this thing down from the inside." That's what I was trying to do, mother.
But does anyone actually believe him? Like everybody knows he was heavily like best friends with him, right?
I think it's like it's in such a state where they're desperate for anything, that they're truly just like, say it, because next week they'll just add it to the list of the crazy things we've said that we're trying to just sort of like worm our way out of this, which is just really absurd at this point. Because again, all of his behaviors indicate someone who is terribly implicated or for whatever reason expending a lot of energy to protect someone. So either way, it's not a great look.
I mean, this is the Q theory of the case, because for his entire first administration, QAnon was like, what could possibly explain that he's the president who we all think is like there to take down a cabal of, Democratic perverts, and he's not doing it. And so the theory was that he is like working undercover as the president to take spin this web to like catch everybody. And like one day he was just going to like, everybody's going to wake up and he was going to have,
switch.
Hillary Clinton, the Clintons and Obama, up against a wall, because he's actually just been gathering evidence. The fact that he hasn't leaned, like, this does make me think, if he had just leaned into that and been like, sorry guys, I can't let you know classified
Working
information,
on big things,
like the Predator from True Lies, the
Bill Paxton
character,
yeah,
who's just like, sorry, babe, this is top secret information. You're just going to have to trust me and have sex with me.
No, you're a lying used car salesman is what you are.
Yeah. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting here.
Honestly, he may at this point, because
he may go with this.
We've seen everything. And it's, I don't know. I mean, like, that's like the one thing that the like media should keep putting constant attention on, aside from all the fascistic nonsense he's doing, like sort of like implying that he was going to napalm Chicago, maybe with that Apocalypse Now reference. I'm not sure what part of the Apocalypse Now reference he was trying to get with that Truth Social
Again,
post.
this is being blown out of context. Okay,
Yeah.
What the president meant was obviously he cares very much about Chicago.
Yeah,
and he's just a fan of that movie.
He's not declaring war on a U.S. city. He just used that they're going to find out what war is in a
Department of War.
A roundabout kind of way. So yeah. Mike Johnson, I would say work on the improv skills a bit, but you might as well just, transparency is really the best thing at this point, rather than just kind of continuing to just string everybody along. But I think they just don't know what to. I think they know, like, they're probably looking at okay, so if we get to the point where we release it, we have to explain why Donald Trump's name is there, or why it's redacted, or why it's implied. So we need a way to explain that. And that's, I think we're seeing them audition a bunch of
the
nonsense.
Soft launch of that theory that they're going to go with, presumably.
He's Donnie Brasco, dude. Trump is Donnie Brasco, I guess.
That's right.
But
they
recruited
guilty. Him. Yeah, it wasn't like because he was already best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. They recruited him and asked him to befriend this guy to make
Jack,
sure
the White House may be calling you soon.
I'm just saying.
See if you got any more ideas.
Couldn't be more obvious.
Yeah.
And he was undercover, so he had to partake of all the women, basically.
Look,
that's where it's going to get weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Have you ever seen a movie with like an undercover agent where they like cut the drugs and they're like, do that line, or I'm going to put a bullet in your head?
Yeah, like Point Break, right?
Yeah. He had to do what he had to do,
They're probably going to say some shit like that.
He's method. He's a method actor.
Yeah, exactly. There's this wasn't even an acting role. He's an FBI method actor informant, dude, sent from heaven. Okay.
That's right.
An angel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were touched by an angel, unfortunately.
Great show. Great show.
One of the best. Real quick, the Trump administration is terrified of Zoran Mamdani, and they appear to be trying to conspire with Eric Adams to get him out of the race so that Cuomo can consolidate the anti-Zoran vote. And so he was reportedly offered the job to be ambassador to Saudi Arabia. Just the most corrupt thing, like seeming job.
That sounds like an insult to say ambassador to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what are you, the ambassador to Saudi Arabia? And you're like,
the most
corrupt, vile person.
Whose job is just like being open to corruption. All right, there we go. That's the gig for him.
Yeah.
And then after this news spread, Eric Adams held a press conference and insisted that he's staying in the mayor's race. Wouldn't comment on the ambassador job, though.
Yeah, do you think this sitting mayor, like, that's the thing. I don't know where his ego's at. Like, does he really drop out? Because he's like, whatever, I'm protected now. I'll be the ambassador to Saudi Arabia. Or is he really going to be like, no, I really got a shot at this. I could be the mayor of New York one more time. But it sounds like everybody is like trying to induce him dropping out of the race so everyone can get behind Cuomo, which, God, I feel like probably, I wonder if Eric Adams, is he polling better than Cuomo?
I don't think so. I think he's polling worse than Cuomo, but he's been dropping like anti-Cuomo memes all over social media and stuff. So I'm assuming they're going to ask him to drop out and endorse Cuomo, which will be interesting. I mean, it would almost suggest that he's a bit of a lie, two-faced, if you know what I'm saying. Hypocrite.
Yes.
Which I don't think people are ready to learn about Eric Adams.
Thing with New York, for me, it's too much of a city when I think of it. It's such a city when I visit it. Not really interested in it at all.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Paris. It's like, nah.
Yeah, too city-ish.
I'd rather be scuba diving in the Hudson.
That's right.
The East River. I've yet to do the East River, though. I hear great things around this time.
Like the one person
Could you
down
imagine?
there.
Yeah, the one, probably amongst other corpses, probably.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, you went down there? I'm like, yeah, I thought it was
the only people who've
wrong.
ever scuba dived in there were looking for corpses. They're like part of a team.
NYPD. Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's take one more break. We'll be right back.
I'm Jorge Ramos.
And I'm Paula Ramos.
Together we're launching The Moment, a new podcast about what it means to live through a time as uncertain as this one.
We sit down with politicians.
I would be the first immigrant mayor in generations, but 40% of New Yorkers were born outside of this country.
Artists and activists. I mean, do you ever feel demoralized?
I might personally lose hope. This individual might lose the faith, but there's an institution that doesn't lose faith. And that's what I've believed in.
To bring you depth and analysis from a unique Latino perspective.
There's not a single day that Paola and I don't call or text each other, sharing news and thoughts about what's happening in the country. This new podcast will be a way to make that ongoing intergenerational conversation public.
Listen to The Moment with Jorge Ramos and Paula Ramos as part of the My Cultura podcast network on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
When news broke earlier this year that baby KJ, a newborn in Philadelphia, had successfully received the world's first personalized gene editing treatment, it represented a milestone for both researchers and patients. But there's a gripping tale of discovery behind this accomplishment and its creators. I'm Evan Ratliff, and together with biographer Walter Isaacson, we're delving into the story of Nobel Prize winner Jennifer Doudna, the woman who's helped change the trajectory of humanity. Listen to On CRISPR, the story of Jennifer Doudna with Walter Isaacson on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
My name is Ed. Everyone say hello, Ed. I'm from a very rural background myself. My dad is a farmer, and my mum is a cousin, so it's not like...
What do you get when a true crime producer walks into a comedy club? I know it sounds like the start of a bad joke, but that really was my reality 9 years ago.
I just normally do straight stand-up, but this is a bit different.
On stage stood a comedian with a story that no one expected to hear.
On the 22nd of July 2015, a 23-year-old man had killed his family. And then he came to my house.
So what do you get when a true crime producer walks into a comedy club? A new podcast called Wisecrack, where stand-up comedy and murder take center stage. Available now. Listen to Wisecrack on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is a tape recorded statement. Person being interviewed is Krista Gale Pike. This is in regards to the death of a choline slimmer.
She just started going off on me, but then I hit her. And I just hit her and hit her and hit her and hit her.
On a cold January day in 1995, 18-year-old Krista Pike killed 19-year-old Colleen Slemmer in the woods of Knoxville, Tennessee. Since her conviction, Krista has been sitting on death row.
The state has asked for an execution date for Krista.
We let people languish in prison for decades, raising questions about who we consider fundamentally unrestorable. How does someone prove that they deserve to live?
We are starting the recording now. Please state your first and last name.
Krista Pike.
Listen to Unrestorable Season 2, Proof of Life, on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And we're back.
We're back.
And so apparently Turkey, hot spot for men getting new hairlines.
Oh, yeah.
Do they do the leg lengthening surgeries?
I think they do it all.
They do it all. Just one-stop shop.
Yeah.
But now there's a new one where people are going to get their limbs shortened in Turkey.
Specifically women. So we've seen over the last few years like a surge in men that have traveled abroad to get like the extendo piece put on your femur so you can finally be, however tall you need to be to feel good about yourself. I get it. We live in a terrible society. But that same toxicity seems to be also affecting women because there are more and more reports of people going to Turkey now to, again, like take down their height a few inches.
Really?
Yeah. Where, again, it's the same terrible procedure where, like, your femur or tibia is, like they take bone off of your most significant bone in your body and then secure it with a metal rod. And, one woman reportedly went from 5'7" and 3/4, almost 5'8" to 5'6".
What isn't that? Why would you want to be shorter than 5'7"?
I think
trying to be an astronaut. What is the
in this, like, there's a Daily Mail article and a Vice article about it, and like the Daily Mail one is kind of more like, because some women report it's a little hard out there being a tall woman.
That's not a tall. A tall.
I know,
woman,
that's what I'm like.
Is like 5'7".
I'm like, it's
like,
5.
Isn't 5'6" average?
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I think they're in a relationship and the man is too scared to get the leg lengthening. And so he's like, the only other option here, I need you to bring it down by a couple inches so that I don't look same height as you.
That is the most man shit to do. It's like, I'm afraid to do this.
It would hurt.
I don't want to get a vasectomy.
I have a fear of surgery.
I'm not going to get a vasectomy. You do the thing. I don't want it. I don't want leg lengthening. You should be shorter. You're a freakish 5'7" and 3/4. What are we fucking talking about? They do have there's some literature, like advertisements where the clinics that are doing the surgeries have like a whole package where you can go for this procedure. So like this makes sense with like medical tourism, where it's like you go and while you're recovering, like the hotels are cheaper, there's entertainment and it all ends up being cheaper than just buying asthma medication in the US.
Wait, this still doesn't make sense to me. If you're going to get a leg lengthening or shortening, wouldn't you want to add like 5 inches, not 1 inch?
I think this is where I think in the early days, they're probably dialing in how much they can add before the recovery is just completely untenable.
But 1 inch is not worth any,
No.
Yeah.
No. But they're there are dudes who are like, I went from 5'6" to 5'9". Like
okay,
I've
that's
seen
different
those kinds
than
of posts.
1 inch, yeah.
But then the recovery
it's
looks
6 months in bed, right?
Awful. Yeah. You're wheelchair bound, like the physical therapy to retrain your body's new leg length. It's really fucked up. And then there's all kinds of risks involved, like nerve damage, bone infections, like fractures that don't heal properly.
Infections. Fuck.
Yeah. And also like the rods that reinforce your height in either direction, they have like a specific like weight load, like a limit that they can carry. So like you have to
you can't gain weight.
You have to be mindful of all these things. Like it's not just as simple as like I went in, I had a arcane surgery where my legs were broken and like lengthened. But I also now have to be mindful of the load capacity of these metal rods that reinforce my legs.
So beyond that, though, okay, so you stand up and try to walk after you're done healing, and you walk like Vincent D'Onofrio, Men in Black. You have a weight limit like a airplane where like if you overpack a bag by like 10 pounds, your legs just like break when you try and pick them up.
They say to start, even to be considered, you have to weigh under 165 pounds.
Okay, but it's not a weight limit that you can hold. Like it's a weight limit of like, I mean, do you know what I mean? Like,
like on top of the stress you're putting on your body.
Yeah,
right,
if you try to pick up something that's too heavy, is there a chance that it's just like, oh, damn, you just got 3 inches shorter.
Yeah, like you go to Costco.
Screaming in pain.
You go to Costco and you got to bring in a bunch of cans and shit. They're like, I got all the seltzers. And then like, oh, God. No, it's.
But besides those risks, like, what are the downsides? I don't even get, like, what's everybody complaining about? This sounds awesome. This sounds so good.
Oh, my, it sounds horrific. Like, it's interesting, too, because, like, Kylie, you talk about in your book, too, about, like, metaphorically shrinking ourselves, right? Making ourselves smaller. Like to sort of conform to societal things. Like we're talking to the literal level of like, I'm going to become smaller through surgery now. It's really wild era we're in.
I really want to know the motivation for the women. Because if you're like a 6'3" woman, then I can see, it's difficult to find, my selection if you're looking for taller guys.
Sure.
Yeah. But if you're 5'7", you still have like tons of options.
I mean, also like you could just go to another country where like that is the average height. Like, I was like in Scandinavia and I was with Her Majesty, my wife. She's short. She's like 5'1". And we were laughing. We're like, haven't seen a single lady that's as small as you out here. Like, and the ones that are not Scandinavian. Everybody was walking around like 5'8" and shit. I was like, God damn. Which makes sense. I mean, like, hey, just go. Maybe we're in the wrong place. But yeah, this is like, I mean, they talk about sort of like the politics of height in dating, but that's still, I don't know. Like, it's still, I'm still not totally.
Also, so your legs are going to be like way shorter, but then you're gonna like have a great wings. You're going to look like an NBA player, kind of like with like big wingspan and like short, like bigger wingspan than the rest of your body.
Yeah, I don't know. There's also like in the like Vice article, they just like left this one sort of thing hanging there. Like was really interesting. It just said, despite the absurdity, it says height has been directly connected to health. And you're like, researchers have linked tall stature women to conditions like increased cancer risk. And I'm like, well, hold on. Like don't just put that in there. What are you saying?
And I don't think it's like the air up there. I think it's probably like things having to do with like the amount of work that your body's having to do. I don't think you can just hack that by cutting 2 inches off your legs.
Yeah, but not because you're 5'9". You know what I mean? Like this is, it's so weird. Like even the articles that are discussing this are very like, they don't even know what their take is on this. They're like, I don't know. There's also like health risks. And they linked to a study that just said, published research that showed people seem to have a higher risk of cancer. Seem to have it. That doesn't feel like unequivocal, like a scientific breakthrough that you're going to report on.
We need one of those MTV documentaries, like where they used to have in the early aughts, where it was like, I want to look exactly like Brad Pitt. Yeah. And then you just like really get to know them and like,
Jack, that was
feel
called
out there.
It was called True Life. I Want a Famous Face was the name of that episode. I remember that very, very.
You're like, I binged that series.
Yeah.
All
True
of those
Life,
two.
I want really short thighs compared to the rest of my body. Is that the thing? Which leg bone is it? It's the bone between your knee and your hip?
The femur, yeah.
Yeah.
That
feels weird.
The biggest
like to have that be disproportionately shorter than the rest of your body.
Shorter legs, though. That's not going to look good.
I think this is just like, that's what's like interesting too, because you look at sort of the amount of people that it like they said it went from like a couple in 2023 to more in 2024 and even more in 2025. So like it was truly like only like 2 people had done it at this one clinic in Turkey.
Really?
But then when you like look at Reddit, like there are people talking about it, like, oh, that does seem interesting. Like people considering it, and you're like, oh, well, look,
I'm sure there are people who, like you said, like who it is like really a pain in the ass for them to be taller. But man, that fucking sounds brutal for this to be the solution.
But I think this is I think it sort of speaks to how we have these like sort of messages reinforced to us societally, where you're like, well, I certainly can't be a tall queen out here in these streets,
right?
You know, or else I'll put off the short kings.
That's your one thing, that you're just like fuck, that you're like fixating on.
And like think of the I mean, look at what LeBron James did to his scalp. You know what I mean? LeBron James' hairline still doesn't look good, no matter how many times he went to Turkey. And I get it because, you know, having hair is like a sign of virility. And
and he definitely needs like subtle signs of virility when he's like the greatest athlete we've ever seen. I know, that's in like high definition. Like, what the fuck, man? You don't need to like fool us.
Michael Jordan was like, fuck that, bro. I'm playing basketball. Although the hair, I'm sure, I don't know if the hair plug technology was there. Do you think Michael Jordan would have got hair plugs? I don't know.
Probably could have, but did he ever have hair and like it was fading? I feel like
it felt like it just
like, came off.
I think the second he probably felt it wavering, he's like, no, fuck that. I cannot. I'm Michael Jordan. And maybe he had his own internalized toxicity where he was like, don't let them see you with receding hair ever.
The only image I can picture of him with hair, he has a very strong hairline, you know?
Yeah.
Like Jordan. So like
he seems hair without hair always to me. I don't remember ever seeing him with hair.
It was like the first 2 years of his career. He had hair. And then he went completely bald.
Yeah.
No, there's a couple. 1989, he looks like Joe Pesci in Home Alone when he had that blowtorch at the top of his beanie.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah, when he lets it grow out a little bit, it's definitely baldness.
All right, Michael.
Wow. All right, Mike.
Thanks for standing with us.
King.
Bald King. Shout out to Bald Kings out there. You know what I mean? You don't have to go to Turkey. Just love yourself. Radical self-acceptance.
Love yourself and be one of the best athletes in the history of sport.
See, I need that, Jack. That's what I'm telling you. I need these basketball lessons so I can accept my receding hairline.
Kyla, such a pleasure having you on the Daily Zeitgeist. Where can people find you, follow you, find your book, all that good stuff?
Yeah, just under my name. My name's Kyla Yu, so you can find me on all platforms. And the book is in all bookstores, but I always recommend your local independent bookstore.
Yeah. Go get it.
And it's called Fetishized.
Fetishized: A Reckoning with Yellow Fever, Feminism, and Beauty by Kila and then YU.
Yes.
Everybody should go check it out. Is there a work of media that you've been enjoying besides your own book?
That's all I read and watch.
Over and over again.
Not a fan of anything else.
Yeah. No, I've been watching the Amanda Knox on Hulu, and that's been really fascinating. Have you guys followed that at all?
I mean, initially when the case came, but I'm not like, I know I have friends that are in the Knoxiverse fully who are like waiting for this to come out. And I was like, really? I forgot that there are people who really follow the Amanda Knox stuff closely. But no, I mean, like, aren't there like multiple Amanda Knox things out right now?
So many. There's but this one's like a dramatized. Right. And I think she wrote it, or she was the producer and co-wrote it or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously it's from her point of view, but it sounds like they like forced, they did the forced coerced confession thing. Which I think is easier to do on a 19-year-old girl when there's like a bunch of men yelling at you in Italian.
Yeah.
That's
Fully.
The documentary contains one of the wildest comedic characters I've ever encountered. There's the detective who's like one of the main detectives on the case in Italy, is like always smoking a pipe, and he like makes these like broad declarations. He's like, you can tell that a woman committed this crime because it was covered up with like a blanket, and women will be ashamed of the crime that they, and like, but his whole energy is just so unbelievable. Just like so obliviously full of shit that like you can't believe that this is a real person.
Oh, wow. Well,
highly recommend.
I'll just miss it in the pile of documentaries that because every streamer ends up putting out a documentary about the same thing.
I think there is one on every show.
It's like, I was just talking about that earlier, like in an earlier episode about it. It's like, well, what's our version of the thing everyone's doing right now?
Our version of the Fire Festival, because everyone had to cover it.
Yeah, I remember that.
The Amanda Knox thing happened at the Fire Fest. I'm just saying. Like, great. Miles, where can people find you at their work media you've been enjoying? Great.
Find me everywhere at Miles of Gray. You can catch me on 420 Day Fiancé. We're back this week talking about 90 Day Fiancé, my favorite trash reality show. That's my version of scuba diving, Kyla. Where I
should have included that in my book. Yeah, 90 Day Fiancé is very... Lots of white men searching for submissive Asians.
Yeah, some all-time classics there.
Those guys are so fucking bad. Like, I mean, not even bad at hiding.
Shameless.
They have no self-awareness around it. And they always say the same. It's like, well, dating women in the UK is a bit difficult. And I felt like in the Philippines, the women are just nicer there and more understanding. And you're like, oh my God, you're looking for a nurse. Anyway, that's where you can find me. What else was I going to say? Work of media I've been enjoying. I was reading Kyla's book over the weekend. Really suggest everyone to check out Kyla's book. And also, I've been watching like The Summer I Turned Pretty or The Summer I Turned Hot. What is it called? The
Summer I Turned Pretty.
Like a teenager girl.
It's a YA thing, yeah. So my partner, Her Majesty,
Miles is 14 years old. I don't know if that was clear to you, Kyla.
Even though I was dropping references to Asian gangs in the late 90s, early 2000s, I'm actually 14 years old. I was a
student of history.
I love history. Yeah. AP, remember them. So there's, I was just like, it was one of these things where she's watching. She's like, you should watch this with me. I'm like, I don't relate to these fucking characters at all. She's like, don't you know someone who got hot one summer? And I'm like, I guess, but that's not how I get interested in something. Cause I mean, like, I don't like Jurassic Park because I knew someone who was toying with DNA and created a dinosaur. I'm like, things appeal to me or not. But then I found myself through osmosis being like, what happened with him? What are they saying now? Is she not going to marry him? Oh, that's crazy. And she's like, I thought you weren't watching.
Wait, so it's good?
It's like a teen soap opera. You know what I mean? So it's not hard hitting, but it's like, it hits these tropes of your childhood that sure a lot of people get into. As Victor says, it's very messy. People are taken by it. Yep. That's me.
Super producer Victor said, this is exactly how I got roped into the show.
Oh, really? Is that what you just put?
Yeah.
That's what happens. See? And then I end up knowing so much about the show. I'm like, well, I'm like, actually, Conrad isn't that cute to me. I think Jeremiah is cuter than Conrad. And she's like, you like Jeremiah? These are the conversations that we're screaming as we try and put our child to sleep right now.
The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Yeah.
Your favorite show. Miles' favorite show.
My favorite show. I contain multitudes, Kyla, I'm in here driving my Honda Prelude with the bolted on TV screen, tears in my eyes, watching The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Watching YA.
Watching it on your bolted on TV. Work media I've been enjoying. Coach Finstock.bsky.social tweeted a picture of Wolf Blitzer next to, this is actually from last season, but celebrating a Buffalo Bills win with his giving it a thumbs up with the Bills hat in front of a TV that is in like one of those stained wood media cabinets.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Wolf Blitzer celebrating a Bills win in a room that hasn't been updated since the towers fell. First of all, it's almost 9/11, never forget. And A Modern Venus responded, this proves Jack O'Brien's theory about fame pausing your tech adoption, which if you think about it, Wolf Blitzer the peak of his career, as every year he's
the
like,
mid-90s.
20 years ago, I was reporting the 9/11 for CNN. So yeah, his media cabinet still has a DVD player in it. Still appears to have a laser disc player.
Laserdisc. Betamax.
TiVo.
Yeah.
Still doing it.
I forgot I did have a piece of media that I was liking. It was stuck in my brain. Also, Victor just said I'm problematic if I'm Team Jeremiah. I said Jeremiah is cuter. Okay. I think Conrad looks like a rejected version of a Leonardo DiCaprio wax doll. Okay. And for those that know, they know. This was a thing that Ben Collins reposted on Blue Sky. It's a Little League umpire who unfortunately just gets hit in the crotch 3 times during one game.
Incredible run of bad luck.
It feels like you're watching like a 90s comedy. Like that was the first one. Here's another foul tip. Oh! This poor umpire, he's the kid's Little League game. The last one folds him up to the ground. Here it comes. Whoop.
That kid's aiming for it.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyla, you're calling it intentional. Oh my God. The Lizard. Oh!
I mean, he gives a full Homer Simpson doll.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to that man.
Shout out to people who
may be
volunteering for kids sports, just trying to give them a good time, and then you're out here just getting wrecked. Sorry.
All right. You can find me on Twitter at Jack_O'Brien, on Blue Sky at JackOB1. You can find us on Twitter and Blue Sky at Daily Zeitgeist. We're at The Daily Zeitgeist on Instagram. You can go to the description of the episode wherever you're listening to it, and there at the bottom you will find the footnote, which is where we link off to the information that we talked about in today's episode. We also link off to a song that we think you might enjoy. Miles, is there a song that you think the people might enjoy?
Yeah, I was watching a YouTube clip where one of my favorite producers, Fred Again, was making a track with this other producer named Blackboy Max. And in this video, he was like kind of mashing up a Doechii vocal sample over this beat. And people were like, oh, it wasn't even a track he was releasing, but it was so cool. Everyone's like, you got to put this out. You got to put this out. That song came out on an album that Fred Again did with Skepta. And that track is called Victory Lap. And if you're a Doechii fan, he samples like her verse from Swamp Bitches with Rico Nasty. But anyway, this is Victory Lap. Fred Again, Skepta, Blackboy Max. Check it out.
Link off to it in the footnotes. The Daily Zeitgeist is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcast, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. That's going to do it for us this morning. We're back this afternoon to tell you what is trending, and we will talk to y'all then. Bye.
Bye.
The Daily Zeitgeist is executive produced by Catherine Long.
Co-produced by Bei Wang.
Co-produced by Victor Wright.
Co-written by J.M. McNabb.
Edited and engineered by Justin Connor.
I'm Jorge Ramos.
And I'm Paula Ramos.
Together we're launching The Moment, a new podcast about what it means to live through a time as uncertain as this one.
We sit down with politicians, artists, and activists to bring you depth and analysis from a unique Latino perspective.
The Moment is a space for the conversations we've been having as father and daughter for years.
Listen to The Moment with Jorge Ramos and Paula Ramos on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
What would you do if one bad decision forced you to choose between a maximum security prison or the most brutal boot camp designed to be hell on earth? Unfortunately for Mark Lombardo, this was the choice he faced.
He said, you are a number, a New York State number, and we own you.
Listen to Shock Incarceration on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
In early 1988, federal agents raced to track down the gang they suspect of importing millions of dollars worth of heroin into New York from Asia.
We had 30 agents ready to go with shotguns and rifles and you name it.
5, 6 white people pushed me in the car. I'm going, what the hell?
Basically, your stay-at-home moms were picking up these large amounts of heroin.
All you gotta do is receive the package. Don't have to open it, just accept it.
She was very upset, crying.
Once I saw the gun, I tried to take his hand and I saw the flash of light.
Listen to the Chinatown Sting on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's your favorite Jersey girl, Gia Giudice. Welcome to Casual Chaos, where I share my story. This week, I'm sitting down with Vanderpump Rules star Sheena Shea.
I don't really talk to either of them, if I'm being honest. There will be an occasional text, one way or the other, from me to Ariana, maybe a happy birthday from Ariana to me. I think the last time I talked to Tom, it was like, congrats on America's Got Talent.
This is a combo you don't want to miss. Listen to Casual Chaos on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is an iHeart podcast.